In a perfect world, every feature is immediately and enthusiastically adopted by every customer. But in reality, that's rarely the case. As we add customers and personas and our products become more feature-rich, the way we launch and deliver products has to evolve. We also have to rethink the way we educate and enable users to use the things we launch. Every product team wants to build features that provide value to customers, but doing so requires effective customer feedback, appropriate measurements, and an ability to drive awareness rapidly around new updates. But the way we educate and enable users has to evolve. You can't just rely on shipping some documentation along with the software anymore. Customer education needs to be ingrained into the fabric of how you launch. If customers aren't educated on a new feature, the launch shouldn't be considered complete. That's why you may be greeted with a guided tour of new features when you open an app on your phone or a pop-up message when you hover over a new button. Both are examples of product-led strategies to communicate about product updates and drive adoption. Figuring out how to tell people when you have a new feature becomes a big challenge due to the sheer number of stakeholders involved. On one hand, you have your customers. On another, you have your internal support team. You don't want to roll out a bunch of new features without educating customers about the newest changes, or you'll soon get a bunch of help desk tickets about issues the support team didn't even know existed. There are a couple of different philosophies that can come into play here. If you're Etsy, for example, and you're releasing updates 50 times a day, you can't announce each and every one of those. It simply doesn't scale. Some companies choose to take a blended approach. They might make an announcement on social media for every change, but then they follow with a quarterly summary to customers explaining what changes they made over those 3 months. But the best way to tackle announcements is to place them directly in your product or digital experience. An effective approach can be to add a new button or badge that flashes or glows when updates have been made, triggering users to click or hover. This way, you avoid interrupting users, but still give them the chance to learn what changes have been made. Once they click the button, the flash or glow goes away. There's no one-size-fits-all way to announce features, but there are a couple considerations that can help to shape the strategy. The first one is relevance. Users are much more likely to respond to announcements that matter to them. Software applications, especially business software applications, have diverse user bases with different roles, maturity, and technical proficiency. Very few features are deeply relevant to all users. Therefore, if you take the in-app announcement approach, the communication should be tailored to the most appropriate user segments. Whether a new feature is relevant to prospective customers in addition to the current user base can also shape the announcement strategy. The second consideration is desired action. What should users do upon reading the announcement? Try it out, read documentation about how to use it, provide feedback. The desired next action can also have an impact on the best way to announce a new feature or offering. Delivering feature announcements or promotions in the form of in-app modals or tooltips ensures that the announcement reaches users at a highly relevant time when they're using the product. Often, the primary next action for users is to try the feature. If the announcement is served directly in the product, there's nothing stopping the user from trying it out. With a different external approach like email or blog announcements, users must either immediately log into the product to try out the feature or attempt to remember the announcement the next time they use the product.